The Uchigatana is the best starting weapon in Elden Ring. It's strong right out of the gate and can adapt to nearly any playstyle you can ask of it. I've done lightning, frost, and dual-wielding builds with it, but sometimes the best build is the simplest. It's time to bring out the keen Uchigatana in Elden Ring. The Uchi is a starting weapon for the samurai, so if you plan on using it right at the start, be sure to pick this class. If not, you can grab it in the Death-Touched Catacombs, located right in Limgrave, and you don't even need to kill a single enemy for it. Save for an attack or two. Most of our moves will be dealing slash damage. This damage type can prove to be quite useful on a few rather annoying enemies. The moveset itself is like all other standard katanas. We have decent range with fast swipes and great recovery times. If you feel like you always get hit at the tail end of your attacks, but still need some range, running an Uchi will help alleviate those ailments. We can R1 and R2 our way across the lands between and not have a single boss give us trouble. A great moveset and 45 blood loss buildup will do that for you. But it would be a crime not to make mention of that powerful Ash of War. Unsheathed comes standard on the Uchi and can be found in South Lake Agil, being rolled around by a scarab. This Ash is powerful enough to give Square Off a run for its money. Unsheathed, like Square Off, has a light and heavy Ash of War. Hold down the Ash of War button to get into the Unsheathed stance. Press the light button, R1, for a quick horizontal swipe that can be easily followed up with an R1 attack. The heavy follow-up with the R2 is a forward vertical slash that can hit enemies usually out of range for great damage. Unsheathed may be more costly and do slightly less poise damage than Square Off, but because of the longer length of the katana weapon class, it is easier to land and just as effective. While we will want keen infusion on this Ash later in the game, the Uchigatana with no infusion on this Ash will do perfectly fine for most of your first playthrough. Before we jump into talismans, be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the build videos. It'll help me reach my goal of 2,500 subscribers before the end of the year. Our talisman setup is simple and straightforward. We have the Shard of Alexander for more Ash of War power. If you're still early in the game, you can use the Carian Filigree Crest that you can get from EG. This will make our Ash of War cheaper instead of more powerful. The Green Turtle Talisman for more stamina regen, Dragon Crest Great Shield, or the Damage Negation Talisman of your choosing for better defense, and finally, Millicent's Prosthesis. This talisman will grant us more dexterity and successive attack power. If you're earlier in the game, you can always use the Winged Sword Insignia or Prosthesis Wearer's Heirloom. For our stats at RL 150 and New Game Plus 7, we had 60 Vigor, 20 Mind, 37 Endurance to Light Roll, and 75 Dexterity. This dex will hit the final soft cap of 80 once we put on that dexterity boosting talisman. If you want to use the best starting weapon in Elden Ring, especially if you're doing a run in preparation for the new DLC, look no further than the Uchigatana.